the SEC officially changing its tune on the $2 billion fine that it wants Ripple to pay? What's going on with Hedera removing community nodes? And the last thing that we're going to be going over, and probably biggest piece of news, is the SEC officially closed its investigation into Ethereum. And what does that mean for the markets? Make sure you guys tune in all the way to the end of this video to find out all the details. Hey guys, Ryan with Big Dog Investing. Thank you guys for tuning to my channel. If you guys could do a couple of things for me, if you guys go ahead and like, comment, subscribe to my channel if you guys have not done so already. Click the bell notification down below so YouTube can send you guys notifications whenever I release videos. Watch my videos all the way to the end. And if you guys could, share my videos and share my channel with anyone. I'm trying to grow my channel as much as I can. I definitely need your guys' help in doing so. Getting started, today's be Monday, July 1st. The total market cap for all cryptocurrency right now is $2.31 trillion. This is a 0.00% increase or decrease on the day today. So we were exactly where we were yesterday. Fear and greed index, we're at a 49, which is neutral, which is crazy to me. Because when Bitcoin had that massive run up from roughly about the $17,000 price range all the way up to the 72,000, we were in the extreme greed. And as it was reaching that $60,000 mark, we had the fear and greed index over here in the extreme greed. But since we dropped down with Bitcoin's price from about the 72,000 peak down to where we are currently, we now drop in the fear and greed index that much. In my opinion, I'm not going to use this as a tool right now. But again, no financial advice with anything that I say in this video or anyone that says in any of the videos that you guys decide to watch. Make sure you guys do your guys' own independent research before making any financial decisions. Bitcoin right now is currently trading at $62,932. Ethereum right now at $3,439. Now we're waiting for Ethereum for the spot Ethereum ETF to officially go live. Now, they were officially approved by the SEC, but they have to wait for those S1 filings to officially get approved. And once that happens, a lot of the brokerages and exchanges can now hold that spot Ethereum ETF on paper. And that's when we're going to see, in my opinion, again, no financial advice, that price run up on Ethereum, just like we saw with Bitcoin. But I'm not going to think that it's going to go run up as much as Bitcoin did, especially because the fees are a lot higher on the Ethereum network. Kind of disappointed in XRP, currently trading at 47.68 cents. We did drop below that 50-cent range. Now, in my opinion, I'm still going to be buying the XRP token. We'll see what happens with the price, if it's going to keep on its continued decline. We need some more partnerships to come out. And then we also need the SEC to officially close its investigation into Ripple for the price of XRP, in my opinion, to go up. Now, getting into our biggest gainers and losers, Bonk, another meme coin, is our biggest gainer, currently up 12.9%. We got OM currently up 6.6%, and we got Brett currently up 5.4%. Now, Quant, one of my favorite cryptocurrencies, still on a downtrend right now, still below that $100 mark. Still one of my favorite cryptocurrencies and one that I still currently hold. Again, no financial advice. Biggest losers on the day today, we got Fed as our biggest loser, down 8.8%. AGIX going to be down 8.5%. And then TIA currently down 7.3%. Getting into our news. Now, BlackRock's CEO, Larry Fink, so one of the biggest institutions, their CEO, Larry Fink, says today the G7 average debt to GDP is 129%. So no matter how much we tax, how much we cut or reduce that debt, it will not be enough. This is why building new infrastructure is critical, especially through public-private partnerships. And obviously, he wants the public-private partnerships because that's how he's going to make more money. But in my opinion, I do agree partially with this. Our government spends way too much, and they want to keep on increasing tax dollars, which is going to keep on hurting the economy. And we just don't need this wasteful spending. So the Biden administration spent $320 million of our tax dollars in this floating pier. You guys can read where it's at, which lasted 12 days. Now, if we watch this little video right here, this is what the pier is made out of. And obviously, water's just getting in. It's just going to crack. And yeah, it only lasted 10 days before it flew and went into the ocean. But Biden gave each family in Hawaii $700 after their entire lives, businesses, and homes were burned to a crisp. So just to show where our government is actually at right now, where they don't really care about the American people, in my opinion. Now, the government program is outrageous, waste of taxpayer money, and utterly failing to serve the people. So this is the Biden's $42.5 billion rural high-speed internet plan gets stuck. Washington Times reports this in red tape. Not a single home connected in the 3 years after enactment. Now, the Biden administration is basically blaming local officials why this hasn't gone live yet and why they haven't done anything with the money or wasted that money, and it's not showing any progress yet. But in my opinion, completely ridiculous. For the 42 billion, they could have brought Starlink dishes to 140 million people in the United States. So again, United States population 333 million roughly. So almost half the US population would have gotten internet access with that 42 billion. Um Now, the Treasury Secretary, her name is Janet Yellen. This is her right here. All Americans, both who are well off and those who are near the bottom of the income distribution, are better off now. In my opinion, complete disgrace. Obviously, the bunch of the American people are saying that they're struggling right now, and we're not better off now than where we were 4 years ago. Now, Trump responds to the Biden guilty verdict of the son Hunter. So the Trump campaign statement is right here. This trial has been nothing more than a distraction from the real crimes of the Biden crime family, which has raked in tens of millions of dollars from this place, and this place. I've just been banned by YouTube before, so I'm not going to say those places. Crooked Joe Biden's reign over the Biden family criminal empire is all coming to an end on November 5th, and never will again the Biden sell government access of personal profit. In my opinion, I completely agree with this. I do see Trump winning the 2024 election. But the Biden campaign is in talks to accept crypto donations through Coinbase Commerce, sources say. Now, Biden has been critical of cryptocurrency. A lot of Democrats have been critical of cryptocurrency. The biggest one is Elizabeth Warren. But if they're so critical, why are they going to keep on accepting money as this? Especially when Elizabeth Warren said that it's used to do fraud, crime, and everything else, but they're going to take this money in just because, yeah, it's money for them, for their administration, for their election. The Biden administration also proposing a 30% tax on crypto mining is deeply unethical and possibly unconstitutional, this writer says. Completely agree. They shouldn't tax crypto innovation and then even just tech innovation here in the United States, but they keep on wanting to do it. And when they get this tax revenue, they're going to keep on spending it. Obviously these new programs keep on coming up. One of the biggest things the um, government does is just rake in our tax dollars, spends it, and we just keep on getting into more debt. We're like 30 something trillion dollars in debt, and we keep on going more and more debt every single day. I think it's every single 100 days we go over $1 billion in debt, if I'm not mistaken. Could be a little off on that. Americans' largest companies have big plans on chain, so we see a 39% year-on-year increase of on-chain innovations announced by the F100 companies. Now, if we had one, let's say 100 companies and then they had 39 more companies jump on board, that's a 39% increase. So sometimes a lot of these percentages can be misleading. So make sure you guys read this whole article. But again, we do see this more tech innovation by these big companies trying to save money using crypto because it's faster, it's cheaper, and more efficient than ever before. The SEC chair, Gary Gensler, says the final approvals of the Ether ETF, so that spot Ethereum ETF, should be coming in the next couple of months. Bloomberg announced that they plan on seeing this coming about July 2nd, which would be tomorrow, but I do not see it actually happening. Now we're going to get into our Watcher Guru news. World's largest bank, ICBC, says Ethereum is providing technical power for the digital future. Former President Donald Trump says Bitcoin mining may be our last line of defense against the CBDC. Obviously, the majority of people in cryptocurrency don't like CBDCs. We want to see the cryptocurrencies companies that are already out there thrive, not have the government profit again off of the tech that's out there. The U.S. inflation falls to 3.3%, lower than expectations. So we see inflation drop, but we did not see anything happen with the Federal Reserve reducing the interest rates. Russia's Moscow Stock Exchange officially halts trading in US dollar and euros. So we're seeing the US dollar fall globally. And this is where I was talking about. The Federal Reserve ended up pausing interest rate hikes, remains at 5.25 and 5%. 5.5%, sorry. Donald Trump proposes eliminating all income tax, replacing it with tariffs on imports if elected president. Now, in my opinion, I don't see that this actually is going to go through. The income tax needs to be there, in my opinion. Obviously, a bunch of businesses need to pay taxpayer dollars. People need to pay taxpayer dollars because it goes to funding a bunch of different programs and things. But the wasteful spending needs to stop. Our income tax does not need to be the 15%, the 12%, all the way up to 35-40%, depending on your income earners bracket. I could see income tax being roughly about 5 to 10%. So I could see reducing the income tax, but I can't see eliminating it completely. But that's just my personal opinion on it. Spot Ethereum ETFs projected to launch by July 2nd. So again, tomorrow, we're not going to see this in my opinion, but put your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. What do you guys think of that? The SEC head of crypto asset enforcement division officially resigns. This guy was at the SEC for 9 years, nearly 10 years at his position. One of the biggest criminals, in my opinion. Again, just my personal opinion on it. Basically wants to stop innovation from cryptocurrency from thriving. But we'll see what happens with this. Is anyone going to end up replacing him, or are we going to see some actual rules by Congress that are enforced to have good regulations on cryptocurrency? The SEC permanently suspends investigation into Ethereum. This is probably the biggest thing. So, right here, Ethereum. So, Consensus was the one that was being investigated for Ethereum. So, Ether survives the SEC. Today, we're happy to announce a major win for Ethereum developers, technology providers, and industry participants. The enforcement division at the SEC has notified us that they are closing its investigation into Ether 2.0. This means the SEC will not bring charges alleging to the sales of Ether and securities transactions. The decision follows a letter we sent on June 7th asking the SEC to confirm that the May Ether ETF approvals, which were permitted by, premised on the Ether being a commodity, meant that the agency would close its Ether 2.0 investigation. The closing of the investigation is monumentous, but it does not cure all of the many blockchain developers, technology providers, and the industry participants that are suffered under the SEC's unlawful and aggressive crypto enforcement regimen. Sorry, just waiting a little bit for it to load. Our fight continues in our lawsuit that was we seek a declaration that offerings of the user's interface software, MetaMask swaps, and staking does not violate the securities laws, that it does not take the lawsuit to provide the much needed regulatory clarity to allow an industry that serves as the backbone to countless new technology and innovations to thrive, but we are Ether for all. Now, I absolutely hate Ethereum. This is basically Ether 2.0 investigation closed. The first one was the Ethereum free pass speech by Bill Hinman, who was one of the chairs, or not the chair of the SEC, but he was one of the division heads of corporate finance at the SEC. But he ended up giving a free Ethereum free pass speech, and with that Ethereum free pass speech, he basically said Ether's considered a commodity along with Bitcoin. All other cryptocurrencies are up for debate. Now, if you guys want to look at the official statement by the SEC, it's right here. But moving on, though, a big win for Consensus. This is Stuart Alderati, the chief legal officer over at Ripple. So, though many questions remain, does this mean that the SEC thinks Consensus offerings of sales of Ether are not securities transactions, or that Ether itself is not a security? What will Gensler say if now asked? What is the status of MetaMask and staking? So we'll see what happened. Frederick Rapoli, who's another lawyer, says my thoughts exactly. There is no clarity without finality. Getting into our news of other cryptocurrencies that are thriving. So, Charge to Earn app by VeChain is in partnership with Tesla, now live, ready to earn and reward you for sustainability. So, VeChain, one of the tech solutions trying to solve the supply chain crisis. Also, getting into the green initiatives that are going on with cryptocurrency right now. In my opinion, VeChain is one of my favorite ones, sponsored by the UFC as well. Hashpack wallet is now live, so Pack is now live on Gate.io. The Tier 1 exchange listing combined with our listings, Bit Global, Mex Official, Saucer Swap, and C14 team expands the reach of Pack. So if you like Hedera with the HBAR token, one of the big ones. Now, this is one of the things that is very interesting to me. Hedera decided to close its community nodes. So Hedera, we wanted to provide more context regarding the removal of community nodes from Hedera's roadmap. We remain committed to creating technology that enables community nodes and are actively working on the foundational elements necessary to ensure Hedera maintains its performance and sustainability after the change. This roadmap change was made to ensure that this reflects the near-term deliverables, the 2-3 quarters, rather than indicating a complete removal of the community nodes from our priorities. Hedera is actively working on several dependent features required for the implementation of community nodes, including simplifying node installation and operations and decentralizing Hedera's address book updates. The same way that we have capabilities such as sharding or entity archeal rent in the plan, we do not have these on the public roadmap as they are further out. We also want to welcome the community divisions of the suggestions of the technological implementation of the community nodes. Technical community discussions can be initiated on this website right here by creating a new discussion thread. So if you guys want to talk about the community nodes removal, in my opinion, I was not for the removal of this, even though Hedera decided to do it. But it's at least good that they're being transparent about this. And transparency is really key, in my opinion, for cryptocurrencies to thrive. Do Kwon and Terraform Labs have agreed to pay the SEC Gov a combined $4.5 billion in a settlement for civil fraud against them. The SEC settlement would be also ban Do Kwon and Terraforms from buying or selling crypto asset securities. Now, in this is interesting because the Stuart Allright says this SEC is again touting a big penalty, but the SEC will end up a creditor in bankruptcy court. See BlockFi, and the SEC has become a show regulatory chasing headlines rather than good policy. So Terraform Labs is basically going to say we're going to go bankrupt. They're going to get basically pennies on the dollar for this, so they might receive a couple $100 million, in my opinion. But they're going to tout this big win and keep on saying that they're doing good for the American people and the public in tech innovation. Now, this is slides from David Schwartz. He's a CTO over at Ripple from the keynotes this morning. So if you guys want to go through this is 14 slides. This is everything that he talked about. If you guys want to go over it, you guys can. I wanted to include it. Again, everything's going to be down in the comments below. Ripple says, introducing the XRPL EVM sidechain. We're excited to bring Ethereum virtual machine compatibility onto the XRP ledger, enhancing interoperability, unlocking new opportunities in DeFi and RWI. Now, if you guys want to read more about this, you guys can. But with the sidechain, it makes it even easier for interoperability and for cross platforms. So I think this is a huge win for the XRPL. Now, Ripple wants to say that earlier this year, Ripple announced that it is an intent to acquire standard custody. And today we are pleased to share that the acquisition is now complete. So what this means is that they are now a enterprise-grade regulatory custody digital assets. The acquisition received the necessary regulatory approvals and is now complete. This is an exciting new chapter for Ripple to strengthen its existing product offerings, explore new complementary products like stablecoins underpinned by a commitment to regulatory compliance. Ripple's track record of working with global regulators and policymakers is underscored by the belief that in order for a blockchain to become more integral in the global financial infrastructure, the industry needs to build alongside regulatory compliance regimens rather than build around them. Completely agree with this. So they're regulated by the New York District of Financial Services in its license portfolio, which includes nearly 40 money transmitter licenses through the U.S., as well as a major payments institution license from the Monetary Authority of Singapore and a virtual asset service provider, so the VASP registration with the Central Bank of Ireland. So in my opinion, this is really good. If you guys want to read more about this, it's going to be in the comments. Now, he wants to show that we got two major acquisitions. That was Medico and Standard Custody, and a big welcome to Jack McDonald. Jack is no stranger to the XRPL ecosystem, and to me, thrilled to have Jack on board. So just building out new partnerships and adding new people to the team. With this, very excited for this link up with Ripple and ARCX. ArcAX. This is a financial institution increasing tokenization of the RWAs on its layer 1 in the XRPLs through regulatory entities like ArcAX, and I only expect this to grow exponentially in the future. So if you guys want to know what it is, it's the UK's first registered crypto exchange, buy, sell, hold crypto and other digital assets. So Ripple just, announced a new partnership with them. In my opinion, great deal and a huge opportunity for growth globally, especially when we're lacking here in the United States. Again, everything read down in the comments. And the two biggest things at the XRPL Apex of 2024. They were both asked what was their biggest thing about the new year, and mass adoption for blockchain will come in part through abstracting the tech layers the same way the internet grew. Completely agree with this. Ripple's building its framework from the ground up. This is why they're doing all of these partnerships, not just relying on the XRPL token. Now, with this, they're introducing a stable coin. So introducing Ripple USD, so RLUSD, which is a one-to-one USD backed stablecoin offering transparency and stability on the XRP ledger and Ethereum coming later this year. So if you guys want to read more about this, you guys can. Now, a bunch of people are concerned about how this is going to impact Ripple with the XRP token. Now, they still want to use Ripple. The one-to-one stablecoin, Brad Garlinghouse says, like, is really important, especially with people who want a stable form of currency. They're still going to use the XRP token, especially because it's used as a bridge for currencies. And the introducing the stable coin will not be used as a bridge. So the stable coin, in a sense, can't be used as a bridge, is what I got from it. But you can change the RLUSD into the peso, into the ruble, into the yen. You can do all of this stuff, but you have to use this stable coin, go through the XRPL using the XRP token as a bridge to get to whatever currency you guys want in the back end. Now, the last thing that we're going to be going over, Stuart Alderati says the SEC is raging. Ripple defended itself, agreeing to nothing. The court gave clarity that the XRP is not a security. There is no victims to the compensate. And worst of all, the SEC, Ripple is thriving, but at least the SEC seems to have abandoned its demand of $2 billion. So in this, it looks like the SEC right here, it says applying this to the 876.3 billion or 876.3 million in gross profits. The SEC here asked that the court to disgorge results in a much larger figure. So they want to go a little bit much larger than this, a $102.6 million penalty, then the $10 million ceiling that Ripple insists on. So where are we going to see this go? Is Ripple going to pay this $100-something million fine? Are they going to get anywhere between the $100 million fine and the $2 billion fine? We still have to wait for the judge to decide on this. And in my opinion, that's one of the reasons why the XRP price has dropped. Even though the Ripple is still selling their even though Ripple is still selling some of their XRP tokens that are held in escrow because they're using it to fund their business practices, and that's another version and a way that the XRP price is staying where it's at right now and dropping. But we'll see what happens, and I do see that this adoption of the XRPL, especially by major banks and institutions, once this lawsuit is officially over, is going to be great for the XRP price. But put your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. What do you guys think of this video? Thank you guys for your guys' time, and I hope you guys tune into the next one. If you guys can't invest with the big dogs, stay on the porch. Thank you guys, and have a good one.